Hello, YouTube family. I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture. We start off with a hug because we need our hugs. Come on. We need a hug, sometimes a little longer than others. I'm your auntie of pop culture. What is going on? Rapper Biz Markie needs our prayers. He's just a friend, picking boogers. This has not been a real kind year for the rapper. Biz Markie slipped into a diabetic coma a few months ago. During trying to come out of the coma, he suffered a stroke. A stroke is a brain injury that has left Biz Markie unable to communicate. The brain is sensitive. When I had my stroke and the doctor said you had a brain injury, and I was like, brain injury? It just didn't coincide. But Biz Markie, he needs our prayers. He's at a rehab center down in the DMV. See, I live up here in Philly. So we be calling that area Virginia, Maryland, DC. We call it the DMV. He's down in the DMV. Please keep rapper Biz Markie in your prayers because he needs it. Now, it's tonight that Tom Joyner is going to talk about his battle with a stroke. And I just wanted to clarify something. I know that everybody can't speak on what has happened to them, but I just think that if you've been blessed with a voice, God blessed me because he wanted me to be able to talk about this and to help others. Tom is going to help so many people as he talks about his battle with what he has gone through. I just think if that's your thing, I believe that people should stay in their lanes. They should, but be a blessing with whatever gift you have. Sometimes it's just the gift of just being there, holding somebody's hand, because that, believe it or not, is a gift, and it can be a blessing. Mariah Carey, with the meaning of Mariah Carey, her #1 best-selling book, I hear it may be made into a movie. Yes, and I'm hearing that Lee Daniels could have something to do with it. Mariah and Lee, they're good friends. She was in The Butler. She was in Precious. Who could play Mariah Carey? An amazing voice, brilliant career, ups and downs, mental breakdown. The meaning of Mariah Carey could be made into a movie. Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes are joining forces. This is for a new Netflix 8-series drama. Kevin Hart doing drama with Wesley Snipes. True story is going to be about two brothers. Kevin, Wesley play brothers. Eric Newman, the force behind Narcos, is behind this. 8 episodes, drama. It's about two brothers in Philadelphia. One is an uprising comedian. The other, the older brother, stays in trouble in and out of jail. How true is this story? But this is going to be happening. Kevin Hart trying his hand at acting. Wesley Snipes, look for him in Coming to America 2, the new Eddie Murphy movie, which starts streaming on Amazon Prime March 5th. Nicolas Cage, he's got an unscripted comedy series coming to Netflix entitled The History of Swear Words, the history of curse words. It starts streaming on January the 5th. Think about it, y'all. Where do curse words come from? Why can't some people stop cursing? Why is it such a part? Is it ladylike if a woman uses certain profanities? Is it fair? It's a double standard. Nicolas Cage, The History of Swearing. It starts streaming on Netflix January the 5th. I tell you guys time and time again, Dionne Warwick ain't the one to play with. What did Wendy Williams say about Auntie Dionne today? Auntie Dionne is on social media. She ain't playing. She's not playing with people. Don't make disparaging remarks. Apparently something happened with them years ago. Wendy, you got to do like me and just laugh about it and just say, okay, I shouldn't have brought up the psychics. But I love you, Auntie Dionne. I love Dionne Warwick so much. She turns 80 this week, but she addressed it on her social media. She's on Twitter, and she is on Twitter hard. Follow her at Dionne Warwick. I want to tell you about a film that I briefly mentioned yesterday. American Skin. It's a Nate Parker film. Nate Parker brought us Birth of a Nation, right? Back in 2016, he got caught up in the Me Too thing, but he was found not guilty, but it did hurt his career. In American Skin, Nate Parker plays a dad who is seeking justice. He watched his teenage son get murdered by police. Spike Lee is the executive producer. Omari Hardwick is also in this movie. If you see the trailer, it is riveting. It'll make you think. Some parts might even make you mad because it's like, wow, this really happens. And the thing is, it happens today. But don't be black and pick up a gun because everybody starts saying, I always say that more black people should join the NRA, and I bet you they wouldn't be so willing with the guns. Anywho, American Skin, it debuts Martin Luther King weekend. You got to see the trailer. It is riveting. Funny thing about Nate Parker, he don't be making, I call him, he don't make happy films. He makes films that make you sit up and be like, because Birth of a Nation was about, what was it, Nat Turner, the rebellion and the slave trade, and Nate Parker. Look for the trailer. American Skin. Letitia Wright, Shuri, Black Panther, gonna be the new Black Panther. That movie company made her get off of social media. I guess somebody told her, you about to blow this. She said something, against vaccines, and then she said that Black Panther should just end. Girl, you about to be the new Black Panther. You about to step up in one of the biggest movies of your career. Don't blow it. Ask Terrence Howard, who was supposed to be War Machine in the Iron Man movies. These movie companies ain't playing. These movie companies are not playing. They're not playing at all. They have these franchises. They have these big movies. Letitia, they made her get off of social media. Now wait, I do have exciting Spider-Man 3. All the villains from the old movies are coming back. Andrew Molina, he played the character with all the arms going everywhere. All of the Spider-Mans, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Jamie Foxx is coming back for Spider-Man 3. This is going to be epic as they bring the other actors from the other Spider-Man movies together. This Spider-Man movie is coming out next year. I told y'all I'm a Spidey fan. Peter Parker. I had a son, and he was so fascinated with Spider-Man. He just drew me in with it too. But Spider-Man 3, all of them are like coming back together. I had a lot of notes here. I got some big news on actor Glenn Turman. He's going to be in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Chadwick Boseman, Viola Davis starts streaming on Netflix on the 18th of this month. Had a chance to talk with Glenn Turman just a few weeks ago about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We best know him as Preach, Cooley High. He was on Different World. He was married to Aretha Franklin. Well, let me tell you about his latest project. Actor Glenn Turman has signed on for the ABC miniseries Women of the Movement. Will Smith is producing this. Jay-Z is producing this. One of the first stories, because they're talking about women in these historical roles. This is going to be the story of Mamie Till Mobley. Her son, Emmett Till, was brutally murdered down south. This was the Jim Crow era. Brutally murdered. They said he had whistled or something at a white woman, and the white woman had lied, but we didn't find that out until later. But he was brutally murdered. His mom said, keep that casket open. And back then, Jet Magazine used to print. So this picture went around the world. You saw his brutally beaten face in a casket. And they were like, why did you do that? And she's like, I wanted the world to see what happened to my son. Her movement was one of the bravest movements in civil rights history. Glenn Turman is going to play the uncle of Emmett Till. They talk about great women in history, but it leads off with the story of Mamie Till Mobley. She's the mom of Emmett Till, and a gosh, just a story, and they want people to see it. I told you guys I'm into podcasting. Patty and the Millennials. There's a new one up. I'm a baby boomer. I talk with Gen X and Millennials, men and women. It's a podcast for everyone. You don't have to be a certain age to listen to it, because we coming together, all those collectives, and we talk about everything. And this week, what did the year 2020 teach you? What did you learn? Such a turbulent year and so much going on. But what did you learn? I learned that I had to learn how to work by myself. I miss my crew. And I know people say, well, you can still do it so and so. And da, 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 da. It's not the same, because they're at work and I like this up at a certain time. And I am here, but I work by myself now. I learned that people change. I learned that I can't be getting into my feelings when people change, because that's not my problem. You having issues. Please don't put that on me. I'm a big person and I don't want my peace disturbed. I don't like a lot of drama and nonsense. I don't like any of that at all. I know with a lot of businesses, they've had to learn how to pivot, think outside the box. Maybe your life really changed, or your finances really changed. I had to learn how to save money, and the foolish spending just couldn't happen because there were no concerts and there were no clubs, and I had to learn how to just settle down, and because I wasn't running all over the place. But what has this year taught you? You can find the podcast, Patty and the Millennials. Sounds like a singing group. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio, which is #1 for podcasts. Do check us out. It's a really good conversation. We don't keep you long. It ain't a bunch of long beginnings and all of that. It's kind of like, it's kind of like with here, because, a lot of people give you like 2-minute intros, and we just get right to the point. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Let's hug. Let's get it in. So it's like that. Dionne Warwick turns 80 towards the end of the week, and we love her. Auntie Dionne. Leave a comment. I'm going to be getting to them. I'm having a mommy week. So we love thumbs up. Spread the word. Tell a friend. We are here. The channel is growing. It's not cute not knowing. Thanks for joining me. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture.